Just a stitch hole. It was crosswise over her backside.
Oh, I see. You haven't taken that. So I'll leave those there for you then on the bench, on the desk.
Stretch.
Could you? I bring them. Is that what you did? You had them under your coat, did you? Under the rope. Yeah. Okay.
I'll leave these on the desk for you. I'll take them in with my...
Smile.
Hey?
Smile.
Yes.
Right.
So that's me.
Would the VIP table give me a smile? Hello, madam. Hello. Now, that's where all the important people are in the middle. That's the ones. Lovely, 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 lovely.
Just Karen?
Oh, yeah. Oh, fabulous.
I'll go back and join this.
That's Betty, so that's mine, that's Betty's.
I don't know.
Put me bag on the seat.
I don't know what Paul's given her.
Or commiseration, depending on which way you look at it. You'll enjoy the year, I'm sure. Every mayor I've met has done.
I've got a good name.
It's a lot of hard work there, isn't it? Tremendous amount. People who aren't involved don't realise just how many things you have to attend.
Well, I think there's about 3 weeks.
Doesn't clash with the pink, does it?
Yes.
It doesn't
That's
tax it.
it, the dress
It's
on
just,
the wrong colour.
I have to take the dress off.
Let's get... You need some water up there. I don't think Dave's not had a chance to do it yet. Considering this was not what I was going to do because the jacket hadn't when it arrived.
Take 5. I'll guys have
You can't see it now.
It's only
It's all gone. Just a stitch hole. It was crosswise over her backside.
Oh, I see. You haven't taken that. So I'll leave those there for you then on the bench, on the desk.
Stretch.
Could you? I bring them. Is that what you did? You had them under your coat, did you? Under the rope. Yeah. Okay.
I'll leave these on the desk for you. I'll take them in with my...
Smile.
Hey?
Smile.
Yes.
Right.
So that's me. That's yours.
That's that. Well, I did. And it's not easy with them. So do it beforehand. I sit in everything.
Oh God. You're in there.
I've got my item.
Do you want to take a pen?
Have it okay. Tick off what you've said.
Each thing as you do. And when you come to do
It's got one, it's on stilts. It's built over a river, it's on stilts the whole time, with the water level goes
in
up and
Canada.
down. Yeah.
It's got the robe on for Deputy Mayor. No, she called me on the board. Says I got Deputy Mayor.
No apologies for absence have been received. The most significant item of business this afternoon is the election of the Mayor for the forthcoming municipal year. And I call upon Mr Councillor Elizabeth Quirk for a nomination.
Madam Mayor, members of the Council, I rise to propose that Councillor Elizabeth Quirk be elected Mayor of the Borough of Douglas for the ensuing municipal year. Councillor Quirk is a native of Scotland, born in Greenock, where she lived for 18 years before coming to the island in 1965 to work the summer season. Her first job was with Fred and Pat Griffin, with whom she also stayed. Fred and Pat, of course, are well known, having been in business and members of the Onkin Commissioners. Fred's father was a councillor, alderman and mayor of the borough. This could be where Betty first got an interest for local politics. During the summer season, she met Peter, the local bobby, and they married at Rosemount Church in 1967 and have two daughters, Sharon and Paula, all of whom, she says, are very supportive of her. Betty first stood for election in 1995 and in a three-way contest won the Derby Ward seat and has been re-elected on 3 occasions and remains one of the 3 members for the ward till 2008. During her time on the council, she has served on all standing committees and has served as chair of the Leisure Services Committee, as well as representing the council on outside bodies. We all know what Betty is like when she gets the bit between her teeth. She will keep going until she gets a result and is not easily fobbed off. This has resulted in her earning the nickname through the media of Battling Betty. And nowhere has this been more evident than, yes, you know what I'm going to say, Derby Square. But her determination to have the square refurbished and lighting installed has resulted in the major scheme now underway. Although Betty has to remain non-political during next year, I'm sure she'll find a way to raise those issues close to her heart and those of the people she represents. Betty, along with her husband Peter, run the Grangemore Guest House, so it is no surprise that she keeps a close eye on all things related to tourism on the island, and served on the marketing committee of the Department of Tourism for a 3-year period. Madam Mayor, it'd be wrong of me not to mention the courage Betty has shown to return to full health after a period of illness lasting nearly 4 years. She tells me she could not have got through that time without the love and support of all her family and friends. Today, she is back to full health and ready to undertake the challenge ahead. In closing, Madam Mayor, I am reminded of Betty's election night win in 1995, when Marge Joplin said, "That new councillor's Scottish." I don't know what Marge would make of the fact that Douglas has his first Scottish mayor, but I'm sure that along with her mayoress, June Crane, the mayoralty is in good hands. Madam Mayor, I beg to move.
Thank you, Councillor Christian. And I now call on Councillor Mrs. Rayner Chapel to second the nomination, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, fellow councillors and guests, I rise to second the motion made by Councillor Christian that Councillor Elizabeth Quirk be elected Mayor of the Borough of Douglas for the ensuing municipal year. Councillor Quirk has always worked hard for the residents of Derby Ward, and I know that she will be able to harness her energies to promote Douglas both on and off the island, most ably supported by her mayoress, Mrs. June Crane. It was with some amusement that I listened when Betty told me that she attended St Mungo's School when a child. I don't know how many Harry Potter fans there are in the room, but St Mungo's is the name of the magical hospital for the bewildered, amongst others. Well, I can assure you that Betty will be feeling very bewildered at the moment while she waits in the mayor's parlour for the summons to enter the chamber. I am sure that we have made an excellent choice in our new mayor, and I hope she has a wonderful and memorable year in office. Madam Mayor, I beg to move.
Thank you, Councillor Chapel. Councillors, are there any further nominations? Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that Councillor Mrs. Elizabeth Quirk be elected Mayor of the Borough of Douglas for the forthcoming municipal year. All those in favour say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. And the motion is carried unanimously. Will the mover and seconder please proceed to the Mayor's parlour to inform Councillor Mrs. Quirk of the Council's decision and escort her into the chamber.
Mayor-elect Elizabeth Quirk.
Councillor Mrs. Quirk, you have been elected by this council to be the Mayor of the Borough of Douglas for the municipal year commencing today, and I am confident that you will fulfil the role in an excellent manner, and I wish you well as I invest you with this chain of office. Thank you. Come down. Yeah. Stand in the middle. Thank you. Smile.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll just move my rubbish.
Have you finished speaking?
Not yet, but after the visual papers.
Take it. Good.
Nicely done.
Please be seated, everyone. I am now going to sign the declaration acceptance of office. Yes. I, Elizabeth Quirk, of Douglas, having been elected Mayor of the Borough of Douglas, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I now sign the declaration. Thank you, Town Clerk, and I take the opportunity to thank the Council for my election and say a few words. Members of the Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to stand here before you this afternoon as the new Mayor of the Borough of Douglas. I am grateful to my colleagues on the Council for their confidence in electing me, and I shall endeavour throughout the year to show that they have made a wise decision. I would particularly like to thank my proposer and seconder, Councillors David Christian and Raina Chappell. Obviously their speeches were kind to me and I am very appreciative. As senior members of the Council and past mayors themselves, they know how thrilling it is to be elected to this chair and the sense of awareness of following a long and distinguished line of previous holders to the office. Not least, of course, the outgoing Mayor, Mrs. Glenda Corkish. I pay tribute here to the immense amount of work that she and her Mayoress, Mrs. Ruth Denning, have carried out in their year of office. They will be a hard act to follow. And all I can promise the Council is that I and my Mayoress will do our very best. It seems that every year the new Mayor stands here and says that Douglas Borough Council is facing new challenges. And this year is no exception. The environment is changing around us, and I think it is a good thing to look long and hard at what we do. How best we can adapt to meet the needs of our ratepayers, and what new services we should be seeking to provide. We look forward this year to progress on a number of capital schemes. The new changing community facilities in Nobles Park, the new golf clubhouse, the continuing refurbishment of Lower Porrose and now Upper Porrose, and the creation of a new golf course depot. Having relocated our operational support centre to Ballacottia from the old Lake Yard site means that the vast majority of our workforce has got purpose-built, clean accommodation to meet modern requirements, and I am proud to be a member of the Council that takes such a responsible attitude towards its staff. They are the people who actually do the work to implement the policies that we make and depend on them. I should like to say now that I and my colleagues on the Council recognise and appreciate their efforts. And I hope those efforts will continue in the same positive manner, as there are still more issues to excite us. We are finalists in 2006 Britain in Bloom competition, so we will be making special efforts to brighten our borough. In that regard, we continue to work with NCANS to develop strategies to make sure that the environment in Douglas is clean and wholesome. We should be proud of our borough. It is a lovely place to live, to work and to visit. It has all the facilities and the amenities that anyone could wish for, and I hope that during the forthcoming year to use the Morality as a platform to dispel some of the negativity that we often hear about. So I approach this year with some eagerness, but confident that I shall have a wholehearted support of my colleagues. I have no doubt that at times it will be gruelling, and I shall record now I treasure the support of my husband Peter and my family. I am sure they will keep my feet firmly on the ground. And I would like to thank Mrs. June Crane for agreeing to be my mayoress. Again, her wisdom and experience will be a valuable support. I am enthusiastic, indeed passionate, about the work of Douglas Borough Council and will do all I can to help develop awareness of it. I feel that all too few of our ratepayers know enough about what we do, what this council has achieved and what we intend to do on their behalf. That will be my theme for the year, and I can be sure of my colleagues' support as I spread the word. I am looking forward to the year ahead with confidence, enthusiasm and with some apprehension, but I will rely when necessary on all the support that I have been offered and for which I am very grateful. I intend to enjoy the year and to serve the council through it to the very best of my ability. Once again, members of the council, I thank you and will endeavour to fulfil your confidence. Thank you. In pursuance of Schedule 2 of the Local Elections Act 1986, as substituted by the Douglas Corporation Act 1988, I appoint Councillor Mrs. Dorothy L. Pitts to act as Deputy Mayor during my illness or absence. It's not that bad. Okay, we'll make sure it's straight. Sweating cups. Are you? Don't worry, I'm just nervous as you know.
It's not age time, I think.
Hormones. Don't say too close to the microphone, is all. There we are, turn it round. Will the Council agree to the appointment as Deputy Mayor of Councillor Mrs. D.L. Pitts be recorded in the minutes? Thank you, members. It gives me great pleasure to inform the Council that the Reverend Kevin Ross has accepted my invitation to act as Mayor Chaplain for the forthcoming year. I call on him now to lead the Council in prayer. Please stand.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, at this ceremony of investiture of new civic leadership, we pray for the worshipful Mayor, Elizabeth Quirk. May she know your will. Grant her the spiritual courage and grace to follow the way that you have set for her. Deliver her from all selfish considerations. Fill her with the spirit of good of God that will make her fearless to seek, to know, and to do right. Strengthen and empower her advisors and fellow councillors, and bring them also to acknowledge your role in the affairs of this council. May their example and influence spread so that the corporation of this borough of Douglas may be seen as honest and dedicated to the good government for the benefit of all. Hear our prayer, dear Lord, and forgive us for any unworthiness. Renew us in spirit, mind, and heart. Through Jesus Christ we pray. Amen. Amen. We join together in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Ross. Please be seated. The annual Civic Sunday service will this year be at St George's Church on the 18th of June. I ask you all to join me on that occasion and hope for excellent weather and a good turnout. I now turn to Councillor Mrs R. Chappell to move a vote of thanks to the retiring Mayor.
Madam Mayor, fellow councillors and distinguished guests, it gives me great pleasure to rise to propose a vote of thanks to the retiring Mayor, Councillor Elizabeth Quirk. This council is well aware of the hard work that has been put in during the past year by Councillor Corkish and her Mayoress, Mrs. Moulton. The year has simply flown over, and they are to be commended for both their charity work and the way they have flown the flag in a great variety of places. They have met many interesting people, including Clarissa Dixon Wright, one of the two fat groups, the Earl and Countess of Wessex. They also attended the 200th anniversary of Chicago events and entertained civic leaders from Lisbon, Wyre, Blackpool, North Ayrshire and Chester, and also befriended Terry Waite, who is also the president of Warrington Male Voice Choir. The aforementioned are a very small selection from a long list of engagements carried out during the last civic year. Our thanks also go to the Deputy Mayor and Mayoress, Councillor Colin Kane and his wife Sue, for carrying out their duties so efficiently. I think that you will agree that both the former Mayor and Mayoress both deserve their forthcoming holidays, and on behalf of your colleagues, thank you for all of your hard work. Madam Mayor, I thank you.
I now call on Mrs D.M. Conway to second.
I wish to second the vote of thanks to our outgoing Mayor and Mayoress, and agree with everything Mrs. Chattel has said. They have done a real sturdy job, and I'm quite sure they've enjoyed it very much, and we've been very proud to have them as Mayor and Mayoress at this time. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Conway. It will also be so recorded that I add my own personal appreciation of the work the retiring Mayor has put into the service of the Council over the past 12 months. I ask her to accept an inscribed plaque and past Mayor's badge in commemoration.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. And there's a plaque.
Thanks.
Okay. Go up on the line up there.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want the...
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We have that effect on flashes, you know?
Thank you.
That's quite
Enjoy
nice.
your holiday.
Thank you. I think it's me now, is it?
Retired Mayor to remain standing to reply to the vote of thanks, then take a seat in the body of the chamber.
Madam Mayor, distinguished guests, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great honour to serve as the Mayor of Douglas for the past 12 months, and I thank my sponsors, Councillor Mrs Chattel and Councillor Mrs Kinraid, most sincerely for proposing and seconding me this time last year, and all councillors for voting for me to be Mayor of Douglas. And thank you also for the kind words spoken today. I would like to thank Archdeacon Brian Smith for acting as my chaplain. This I really appreciated, as he was new to the island and was literally thrown in at the deep end. But he took it all in his stride and attended as many council meetings as he possibly could. Also, I'd like to thank Councillor Kane and Sue, his wife, my deputies, who have always been there to help and have carried out sterling work during the year. Thank you also to the staff and the officers of the Town Hall and departments further afield. You have all been so easy to work with and so supportive. And a big thank you to Ruth, my mayoress. She and myself have enjoyed a memorable and a never-to-be-forgotten year. I have tried my best to promote Douglas and the council as far and as wide as possible, and I hope in time we will reap the benefits from this. And I would like now to take this opportunity to wish our new mayor, Councillor Mrs Quirk, and her mayoress, Mrs Crane, all the very best for their year in office. Make the most of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you will have one of the best years of your life. But I am still going to try and negotiate with you to rent your car park at the front of you, because it was a wonderful thing. And thank you very much, everyone.
We're nearly finished the ceremonial part of our business. Now I'm delighted and proud to inform the Council that Mrs June T. Crane has kindly agreed to act as my mayoress. I invite her to come to the front bench to be invested with the mayoress chain of office.
I'll do the swap now.
Finally, I invite the outgoing mayoress, Mrs Ruth Denning, to come to the front bench to receive her badge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, members of the Council. We shall now conduct our ordinary business, which should not take too long. Everybody is welcome to stay for the Council business. Anyone who wishes to leave may do so. Thank you. The minutes of our regular monthly meeting held on Wednesday, the 12th of April, have been circulated. Is it the wish of the Council that they be signed as a true record? Thank you. The minutes of our special private meeting held Wednesday, the 3rd of May 2006, have been circulated. Is it the wish of the Council that they be signed as a correct record? The proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee. I call upon the then Chairman, Councillor Ellie Ramsey to move that the report of the meeting held on Thursday the 6th of April 2006 be received, approved and adopted by the Council. Thank you, Councillor. I know.
Going to move that the minutes of the proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee as contained in the report of the meeting held on Thursday the 6th of April 2006 be received, approved and adopted by Council.
It has been moved and seconded that the minutes of the proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee as contained in the report of the meeting held on the 6th of April 2006 be received, approved and adopted by the Council. All those in favour say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee, I call on the then Chairman, Councillor Ellie Ramsey, to move that the report of the meeting held on Tuesday the 11th of April 2006 be received, approved and adopted by the Council. All those... I call on... Sorry. I know. I'm sorry about that.
Going to move that the minutes of the proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee as contained in the report of the meeting held on Tuesday the 11th of April 2006 be received, approved and adopted by the Council.
That is second and reserve my remarks.
Councillor McNichol.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Items 3 and 5. Item 3, the Douglas Development Partnership Capital Programme for 2005-2007. I see in the first paragraph that each project that is put forward would also be subject to endorsement by the Partnership's Advisory Group. Now, given that the corporation put in quite a substantial amount of money into this, I would like to know, if possible, who the Partnership Advisory Group consists of, when they have the final say in what is done in Douglas. And item 5, Douglas Promenade. Again, I note from the minutes that these works would impact on corporation services, including the horse tram operation, the sunken gardens and public lighting. Now, this is being left, apparently, to the Assistant Chief Officer, Corporate and Development. I've got this ringing in my ear. I'm not sure what it is. And given that public lighting comes under the remit of the Public Works Committee, and indeed the horse tram and the sunken gardens come under the remit of leisure services, could those committees also be included in any discussions that are ongoing regarding the promenade? Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor McNichol. Councillor Christian.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Clauses 5 and Clause 7. Clause 5, I concur with the comments of Councillor McNichol, and my main concern, Madam Mayor, is in relation to the horse tram lines. As we're all aware, the Department of Transport is looking to upgrade the promenade from 2008, and there are certain opinions that it will disappear from 2 tram lines down to 1, or in fact the tram lines may disappear altogether. I think it's something that as a council we've got to be very aware of, not just the Douglas Development Partnership, but also we have to be aware that the cost could possibly fall on the ratepayer Douglas to renew these tram lines. And when the Irish scheme was underway, there was sums talked at that time of in excess of £1 million, as most of the tram lines will have to be renewed, not just lifted. So I think, Madam Mayor, that is something this council has got to be very aware of. And as the Chairman, would she agree with me that although it says in the resolution, in the very last part, that elected members being submitted, opinions of elected members being submitted and taken into account, it was made quite clear that all the works that were being talked about on the promenade, lighting, sunken gardens, horse trams, were all the responsibility of this council, and we spend money on behalf of the ratepayers. So it's not just a case of taking into account our views, they'll have to get our blessing, and we will have to make the finances available. Would the Chairman agree with that? Clause 7, Madam Mayor, pavement cafe guidelines. Long overdue, Madam Mayor, but when you read it, even to this day, it is still a nonsense, where we're going to look at having a highway licence agreement in place where this council will receive submissions for tables and chairs, we'll grant a licence, but to this day, we cannot go and remove any who are legally put them on the highway. We have to rely on DOT to do that. I think this council through this year has got to say to the Department of Transport, give us the property and we'll do the job properly. Don't ask us to do the dirty work, which is the paperwork, which is the cost of the ratepayers in issuing licences. We take the flak then when people set up tables and chairs on very narrow walkways, particularly for the partially sighted and blind people who have difficulties, and they just sit back when really it's their responsibility to remove them. If they want us to do the job, they should give us the teeth to do it properly. If they don't want us to do it properly, they should take on the licence and exercise as well. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councillor Reid.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Number 7 in this paper, the traffic guidelines. I'd like to read Councillor Christian. I think it is time that more was done to cooperate with the blind people and for the disabled. We see things appear all the time in the street which the blind people and disabled people aren't used to. And I do think it's time everybody sat around the table and discussed all this. And with the Blind Welfare Society, surely they should be entitled to go to these meetings, not just the Disability Access Officer. So I would like to see that too, Councillor Christian. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Carroll.
I would like to speak on clause 5, please. It would seem to me, as I predicted 12 months ago, or maybe it was longer than that this Douglas Development Partnership is aiming to take over Douglas. I go through the street, well, certainly last Saturday I went through the street, there were skittles and ropes all over the road outside Marks and Spencer's. Any visually handicapped would have fallen over them, I almost fell over them. I asked them, where do you get your permission for this Douglas Development Partnership? In the Duke Street, where my little shop is, there are happy tables, there was one. Now there's 3 with chairs. Now potted palms have arrived. I don't know how our street cleaners are supposed to get through to clean the streets. But there again, these are hazards. And when you ask, who gave you permission for these? Did you go to the town council? No, I got it from Douglas Development Partnership. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. Councillor Mitchell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Clause 11. The first resolve, Madam Mayor, said that the particulars of the report be noted in the minutes and that a copy of Douglas Development Partnership's business plan for 2006-2009 be circulated to all members of the council. Well, that was on the 11th of April. We still haven't received it. So, can I ask the Chairman where is it? Or the Vice Chairman where is it? Thank you very much.
Chairman to reply.
Sorry, I was waiting for more. Okay, Councillor Nicol, item 93, Douglas Development Capital Projects. We do the working partnership. I completely take the point because actually it's something that's occurred to me that the advisory group are very vital to the partnership, but it has always, given that we took it on to put the monies in, it has to come down to the
Councillor Nicholl.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Supplementary item number 3. I did ask the former chairman if she could tell us who sits on the Partnerships Advisory Group, because it's a complete mystery to me, and I would suspect that probably 95% of the council. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Chairman to reply.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The advisory group is made up of members of the Chamber of Commerce, the private sector. If the council would like a detailed list, obviously I don't have names, but I'm happy to have that provided for them. Of names. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that the minutes of the proceedings of the Policy and Resources Committee, as contained in the report of the meeting held on Tuesday, the 11th of April 2006, be received, approved and adopted by the Council. All those in favour say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. Thank you again, members. Our only item of private business is in the proceedings of the Public Health.
Madam Mayor, understanding orders 30 of the Council, I'd like to move that the private report of the Public Health and Housing Committee contained in the minutes of the meeting held on Monday the 24th of April be adjourned until the next sitting of the full Council, on the grounds that the business contained within this report needs to be discussed by other members of the committee prior to being debated by the full Council. I also want to second that motion.
Is it the wish of the Council that the private minutes be deferred to the next meeting of the Council? All those in favour say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. Thank you, members. That concludes our business in the Chamber for today. There will now be photographs taken and flowers presented to the Mayoress and the past Mayoresses in the Mayor's Parlour. This will take just a few moments. And please join me afterwards for refreshments and a buffet in the Mayor's Parlour and Committee Room. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go down there. Down that corner.
And this corner.
There we are. And just have the two of you first of all, and then we'll have the family in.
Right, yes.
So, that's it. Just the two of you there. That's lovely. And what I'll do, I'll pull this chair out of the way just for a moment or two. Yeah. And that's lovely like that. Oh, what a good looking pair we have here. That's fine, get a rubbish out of the pockets. That's fine. You want to fasten a button? Yes, you do, I thought so. He knows what to do. That's great, like that now. That is lovely. Okay. Now looking at me now, that's nice. Let's just see, that looks all right. That looks fabulous. That is great. Now, rest of the family, gather round. Stay there, that's right. Yeah, you stand there, that's right. Daughters either side of you. Come just in there, hey, I'll tuck in partly behind this charming young lady, whoever she is. That's right. You're not sure? Who is that? That's lovely like that. That's nice like that. Now that is super. That's a look at you. Oh yes, you're looking good there. We're taking along like that. Well, even better, big smiles now. Come on. And I'm going to have we'll try out that fancy one here. Okay, this way again now. Looking at me, the really fancy picture. Oh, that didn't fire then, did it? It didn't like it. Oh, you are a posh lot. We'll have that again, yeah. You are a posh lot here. These are more Oh, that's not bad at all. This way, Stephen, that's fine. Lovely. Shall we on you and then we'll do the rest on the landing?
Photographs now? Yeah, I'd like them in.
It's up to you, you know.
Oh,
it's your day, you're in charge, you crack the whip.
yes, I think it's time someone will come in. Can you go? Okay. George? Thank you. You've got to, Is that okay? Is that all right?
Yeah, okay.
Is everybody in?
Really proud. So proud.
Roger? Now, Charlie. Liz!
My wife.
Oh, hello. Is it Anne? Anne, hello, Anne. Yes. Oh, he's good.
Bound to happen.
That's wonderful.
There you are, you see.
Anyway, come on in. Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I get this lady here too. How's Michael?
He's fun. Just wait. He sent to you. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks. Try to slow down.
No.
Like this.
Very good, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
This is Judy.
Thank you.
You look lovely. You all look lovely today.
Yes! They were here before you.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. Just went in 2 by 2. Listen, there was on.
Chivalry is not dead.
Are you in the middle?
That's it. You're right to find if I can be.
I'll give you one. Ask.
Well, surely then.
Where you going? I got you in trouble in your old kid back. Oh, he's here again!
Incoming Mary.
Oh! I'll have to put a hat back on. Oh! You put your hat on, come on, put your hat on.
Yes, I've got 7 altogether. Deputies, past deputy mayors. Where's Glenn?
Well, my son to look for her.
Where is she? Where is she? And the mayoress, and I need Colin Kane.
I spent my life around it. I spent the last year rounding her up.
Mr. Alfred Duggan has sent these flowers, but he's gone, I'm afraid. So, fallen to me to present you with small flowers from Alfred.
Come on, Jan, you step in with the whole thing. Come on.
And these ones are for...
We'll do it all together.
Go on, stay there, be brave, Jan.
And these are from Howard. He sent them all.
Stay there, ladies. Oh, what a beautiful trio.
Good, went well.
Beautiful, ladies.